Yes, Arvind Kejriwal is set to return as the Chief Minister of the national capital, and this time with a resounding majority in the Assembly. The Aam Aadmi Party won a record 67 out of 70 Delhi Assembly seats, with the BJP reduced to the remaining 3. And for the first time, the Congress will have no presence in the Assembly at all.
The party began early with initial trends reflecting a big AAP victory. And as counting progressed, indications emerged of a win far more massive than expected. The common man, the youth who had participated in elections like never before, had reason to celebrate.
This is a victory for the common man, and this is a victory for the honesty. The corrupt people have to be given a very strong warning by the people of Delhi.
बिना पैसा खर्च किए, बिना क्राइम के, बिना शराब बांटे भी चुनाव जीता जा सकता है.
And around noon, the man of the moment, Arvind Kejriwal, lifted the victory trophy at his party office, thronged by thousands of his party workers. He called it a victory of honesty, terming the polls a mandate against ignorant, offensive and negative politics.
जितना बड़ा बहुमत दिल्ली की जनता ने हमें दिया है, मैं एक ही निवेदन करना चाहूंगा सभी कार्यकर्ताओं से, सभी हमारे एमएलए से, पूरी पार्टी से, जरा सा भी अहंकार मत करना.
A super emphatic win it was in no uncertain terms. 67 seats won out of 70 in the Assembly, with the margin of victory in 21 of them between 10,000 and 20,000 votes. 14 other seats came with victory margins between 5,000 and 10,000 votes. The BJP, on the other hand, won 2 out of its 3 seats by margins of less than 1,000. Prime Minister Modi and the BJP's chief ministerial candidate Kiran Bedi stepped in with congratulations, the PM tweeting and holding out assurances of complete support for the development of Delhi. Kejriwal's former mentor and founder of the Jan Lokpal movement, Anna Hazare, held out congratulations too, alongside a warning to stay clear of glaring mistakes of the past.
अरविंद केजरीवाल मुख्यमंत्री बनने जा रहे हैं, उनके लिए मैं शुभकामना व्यक्त करता हूं कि एक अच्छी जीत हासिल किया, इसलिए मैं शुभकामना व्यक्त करता हूं.
For the first time in Delhi's history, a non-BJP, non-Congress government readies to take oath. Needless to say, expectations are high. Chief Minister in waiting Arvind Kejriwal has high hopes to live up to in his second innings.
The road ahead is not as easy as it appears. You've got an MCD which is controlled by the BJP, and you've got a central government which is again dominated by the Bharatiya Janata Party. It will be a tight-watt rope for the Arvind Kejriwal government. Amritanshu Rai, Rajya Sabha TV, Delhi.
But hours after that victory speech, Kejriwal got to work. Chief Minister in waiting, Arvind Kejriwal, has been elected leader of the Legislature Party at a meeting of newly elected MLAs of his party at the Constitutional Club in central Delhi. Kejriwal later met the Delhi Lieutenant Governor Najib Jung, who will now send his report with his recommendation to the President. So what is the road ahead going to be for the Aam Aadmi Party? Let's speak to M.K. Venu, who is a senior journalist joining us this evening in the studio. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. It's been quite an emotional roller coaster, even for us viewers of these elections, isn't it?
Yeah, in the sense the results really stunned everybody. It stunned the victor because of the winner never expected this scale of victory. It stunned the loser. Because they never thought that they'd lose so badly. Just 3 seats for BJP, and it stunned the Congress equally, because Congress all thought that they would get at least 7-8 seats. So not opening an account is really sort of a very unusual occurrence for the Congress. After all, Congress has had roots in Delhi politics for decades. So generally, I think there's a bigger message, I think, in this election. The bigger message is actually for the government. I think it's for Modi that they need to start delivering on the ground. They need to be little more humble. I think there's Indian voters, Indian society does not like any show of arrogance. I think there's there are multiple messages in this for everybody.
Yeah.
So I think it's let's see how it.
It's important that when Kejriwal comes out and he speaks to all the karyakartas, he speaks to the people who want to listen to him, and one of the first things that he says is, I myself am shocked, and let's not get arrogant.
Yeah.
That is also a clear message, not just to what do you call it, the people who are watching him, but also to his party workers.
Absolutely. He said ahankar. He first spoke about Congress, how Congress's ahankar, arrogance, led to what it did lead to for the Congress. Then he spoke about BJP's ahankar over the last 8 months, and therefore he said, if we show similar ahankar, then people will throw us out. And that was his first opening statement. So
Yes.
it's almost like cautioning his supporters.
Yeah.
That we should adopt a more humble approach,
Yes.
as it were. Yeah.
But it's hard to be humble, isn't it, when you've got 67 out of the 70 seats.
Yeah.
I mean, at least for a few days, you can definitely expect them to be over the moon.
Actually,
Talking about those 67 seats, where do you think, they've been able to break through as far as the BJP vote share or even the Congress's vote share is concerned? Which particular sector or a segment do you think they really were able to tap into this time?
Actually, before I come to that, I just want to make one observation, that you're so right when you said when you have such a big scale of victory, arrogance creeps in a very unconscious sort of way. For instance, Rajiv Gandhi's government with that huge majority, one of the biggest majorities in Lok Sabha, saw arrogance creep in the first year itself. Similarly, Modi's 282 seats, after after two decades, such a majority, arrogance crept in. So that's what I think Kejriwal is telling his people to guard against. Now, coming to the point, coming to your question as to where all did he get the votes from, I think he got votes across the board.
Yeah.
I remember BJP about a month and a half ago claiming to journalists that 40% of Delhi's voters, for instance, are from UP and Bihar, the Purvanchalis as they are called. And they are mostly the poorer sections, and they, self-employed, rickshawalas, etc. And BJP was so confident that all these Purvanchalis who had voted for Modi in UP and Bihar, and obviously their relatives who were working here, that they were completely in Modi's kind of thrall, in thrall of Modi still. And that was a mistake BJP made. They said they were in our pockets.
Yeah, taking them for granted.
They overwhelmingly voted for Kejriwal. More so, traders who are traditionally BJP supporters overwhelmingly voted for Kejriwal. So across different sections, I think Kejriwal got votes, and the vote shares compared to I think Lok Sabha, where BJP had some 45 or 46% vote share, they've fallen to 32. So there's a huge fall, So I guess this was, I think this is a wave election, So I mean, this scale of victory has not been seen in Delhi in
That's
decades.
Right. Yes, and in fact, talking about that wave, the Aam Aadmi Party's victory symbolizing a wave of positive change, not just in the capital. We'll come back to you, MK Venu, for more. But, this wave that we're talking about is actually across the country as well that we saw today, especially among the youth. Hundreds of them, in fact, crowded AAP headquarters in not just the capital, but also other states as well, and joined in the celebrations. Take a look.
Hundreds of AAP supporters thronged the party's regional offices wearing the trademark white caps and party symbol brooms in Bhopal.
सत्य की जीत हुई है, इस देश में आम आदमी पार्टी की जीत हुई है और विकल्प की नहीं संकल्प की जीत हुई है। अरविंद केजरीवाल और आम आदमी पार्टी ने जो संकल्प आज व्यक्त किया था कि इस देश की राजनीति को बदलना है, व्यवस्था परिवर्तन को बदलना है, आज उस संकल्प की जीत हुई है।
In Uttar Pradesh, excited youngsters said the victory had sent a message to the youth of the country to build a corruption-free nation.
इतनी खुशी है आजादी के बाद भारतीय जनता के पास, इतनी खुशी शायद कभी नहीं हो रही। इतनी बड़ी खुशी है, ये नवयुवाओं के लिए एक संदेश है। आइए इस व्यवस्था परिवर्तन की लड़ाई में अरविंद जी का साथ दीजिए और पूरे देश में भ्रष्टाचार को जड़ से खत्म कीजिए।
Elated party workers in Nagpur were seen distributing sweets to each other. Winning power in the states is critical to the BJP to get numbers in the Rajya Sabha. Many said the Delhi verdict would now have implications for the BJP's campaign in poll-bound Bihar later this year.
This is really a landslide victory which we expected to, but we did not want to preempt it. Now we are very happy that we have won this.
The BSE Sensex also shrugged off the BJP's defeat to rise over 1% on Tuesday. Traders are expecting a reform-friendly budget that the Modi government is expected to unveil later this month. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
And interestingly, many opposition parties also expressed joy over the Aam Aadmi Party's victory today. Many leaders, in fact, calling that victory a turning point in Indian politics, and that stopped the BJP's streak of non-stop wins in assembly elections.
The landslide win of the Aam Aadmi Party became a cause for jubilation in the opposition ranks as well. Calling it a definite anti-BJP vote, former Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Omar Abdullah said there was a lesson for the Congress that Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP were not unbeatable. The Samajwadi Party was equally jubilant. The party said the results indicated ominous portents for the BJP in UP also.
बीजेपी के नेता जो घमंड में चूर हो गए थे और जिस भाषा का प्रयोग कर रहे थे, कोई सभ्य समाज इस तरह की भाषा को बर्दाश्त नहीं करता और पसंद नहीं करता है। और दूसरे 9 महीने में मोदी जी ने जो सपने दिखाए थे उनमें एक को भी पूरा नहीं किया। बीजेपी की हार सुनिश्चित होगी हर जगह।
In Patna, the JDU said people of Delhi had rejected Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP. Party leaders said the results will have far-reaching effects on the entire country, including Bihar. The statements came on a day when senior JDU leader Nitish Kumar is awaiting the response of Governor K.N. Tripathi to his claim to form the government in the state.
ये होना था, जिस तरह भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने लोकसभा में जो वादे किए थे, पहले की बात अलग है। आज के दौर में जो वादे किए थे उनमें से कुछ तो नहीं हुआ ना, इसलिए यहाँ पूरी तरह से जनता ने बगावत की है और इस बगावत को मैं बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन करता हूँ।
भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सांप्रदायिकता मोदी जी का अहंकार और झूठ को ठुकराने का काम किया है। हमें लगता है कि देश में भारतीय जनता पार्टी मुक्त देश की शुरुआत हो गई है।
In West Bengal, the AAP's performance came as a shot in the arm for the Trinamool Congress as well. Party chief Mamata Banerjee termed it as a turning point. Mamata said it was a defeat for those who were doing political vendetta. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And also the Aam Aadmi Party's victory saw an unexpected endorsement, that of Uddhav Thackeray, the president of the Shiv Sena that shares an alliance with the BJP. Not only congratulated Kejriwal on his victory but also took a swipe at Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Uddhav said that the Delhi debacle was a defeat of Modi himself. He also dismissed the Modi wave, claiming that the results had shown that a tsunami that we are calling the Kejriwal victory is bigger than any wave. Uddhav even claimed that the people had become tired of the present political scenario and could not be taken for granted.
दिल्लीतल्या जनतेचं कौतुक करावं तेवढं थोडं आहे. याचं कारण किती दबाव आला असेल, किती प्रचाराची रणधुमाळी उडाली असेल, हे सगळं वातावरण तिकडे निर्माण झाल्यानंतर सुद्धा त्यांना जे करायचं होतं तेच त्यांनी केलं आणि लाटेपेक्षा सुनामी मोठी असते हे त्यांनी दाखवून दिलं.
Well, M.K. Venu, senior journalist, still being with us here in the studio. What do we make of Uddhav Thackeray's statement? Is it, I mean, it is of course a direct shot at Modi, but at the same time, is it genuine praise for Arvind Kejriwal, or is he just stepping on the bandwagon and, adding to, rubbing to the wounds of the BJP?
I think Uddhav is nursing some wounds which he suffered during Maharashtra elections. After Maharashtra elections, we all saw the way Amit Shah rubbed his nose in the ground, and they, for some time, they could not form a government, and Uddhav stayed out, and then finally he did a compromise. But the larger point is the way BJP President Amit Shah has been conducting himself. the kind of aggressiveness that he has shown towards not only allies, even other chief ministers, like even Naveen Patnaik has publicly said that the BJP was trying to break his party, you know. So this has not gone down well with the people. So there is a there was a sense that that regional leaders, chief ministers got, including Mamta, that the BJP under the party under Amit Shah, with Modi's support, of course, was being too desperate to unseat them, and there was this desperation to get the majority in Rajya Sabha, what the BJP described as creeping acquisition of Rajya Sabha, and I think for some time the BJP leadership had got themselves into this illusion that they could go on like this without being checked. So this Delhi election also has partly come as a check, which is what some of these other chief ministers are celebrating. Like Mamta is saying that it's of course, from her point of view, she says that BJP deserves this because of the vendetta politics that they're doing vis-a-vis West Bengal. So Mamta says,
yes, they all of course have their own agenda.
They have, like, obviously, you know, yes, as leaders, everybody interprets an election outcome as it suits them. So does the BJP. So what I'm saying that you should see the sentiment. I'm saying that you should look at the way the kind of relief that Mamta is showing, or even Uddhav is showing, or others are showing that Nitish Kumar, Sharad Yadav. So there is a sense now that that Modi will probably be more restrained, and so will Amit Shah be more restrained, I think, going forward. Yeah.
Yes, we are in fact talking about that victory, and like you're pointing out, about the BJP, the Aam Aadmi Party's gigantic victory was also a story of an equally mind-boggling defeat of rival politicians, from the Congress to the BJP. Some of these leaders, in fact, have never lost an assembly election before. Take a look.
The Aam Aadmi Party's march, of course, swept aside just about every big name in the Congress and the BJP. The biggest loss was BJP's chief ministerial candidate Kiran Bedi from the Krishnanagar seat. A long-standing bastion of the BJP and the RSS, the seat was considered the safest bet for any new entrant. Jagdish Mukhi from Janakpuri was another big casualty. The seat was won by Rajesh Rishi from AAP. Congress rebel Krishna Tirath lost from Patel Nagar, as did AAP rebel Vinod Kumar Binni from Patparganj. The Congress camp saw the defeat of politicians who had never lost assembly elections. They included Ajay Magan from Sadar Bazar, Kiran Walia from New Delhi, Mahabal Mishra from Dwarka, Shoaib Iqbal from Matia Mahal, and Chaudhry Mateen Ahmed from Seelampur. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And talking about the Congress, it's really been a time of utter desolation really for the Congress party workers. In fact, completely blanked out in the national capital for the first time. They in fact called for Priyanka Gandhi now to take over the reins of the party. Ajay Makan, of course, resigned as the Congress General Secretary earlier today, owning moral responsibility.
After a non-stop 15-year rule and a brief time in a ruling coalition, the Congress vanishing without trace as the counting progressed on D-Day. Ajay Makan resigned as Party General Secretary, taking moral responsibility for the debacle.
मैंने ये निर्णय किया है, खास तौर के ऊपर जब मैं अपनी खुद की सदर विधानसभा क्षेत्र से मैं चुनाव नहीं जीत पा रहा हूं, तो मुझे लगता है कि मुझे नैतिक जिम्मेवारी लेते हुए मुझे कांग्रेस के महासचिव पद से इस्तीफा देना चाहिए और मैं कांग्रेस अध्यक्षा से मिलकर के अपना त्यागपत्र उनको मैं सौंपूंगा. और
Another casualty was the Delhi Pradesh Congress President Arvinder Singh Lovely, who also sent his resignation to the Congress President. The abysmal results set off a chain of protests from party workers. Congress leader PC Chako said his party will respect the verdict of the people.
Delhi, we more or less expected this. I must be frankly tell you that we more or less expected this. So if we fail, we cannot escape, or we cannot absolve myself and say that somebody else is responsible.
While it's debatable that the landslide victory of the AAP is really a definitive verdict against the Congress alone, the fact remains that Delhi seems to have become Congress-free in these elections. With Vishal Deya, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, it's been a big zero really for the Congress. M.K. Venu, senior journalist, still with us here in the studio. The Congress, at this point of time, perhaps, is just relieved that, all eyes are really on BJP and how they got their strategy perhaps wrong for this time around. Rahul Gandhi not making any kind of statement whatsoever today.
Yeah, I think Congress has to really seriously do a lot of introspection. They have to reinvent themselves. Whether you go to Maharashtra, Haryana, now Delhi, I mean, they're just coming down to single-digit vote share everywhere, and there are no new ideas coming out of Congress, and one has not even seen, for instance, Rahul Gandhi, talking about important issues or coming out and making statements on. There are a lot of decisions of the Modi government in the last 8-9 months where people expected that Rahul Gandhi will come out and talk about it, but he's not been around. So
yes.
So that's the reason why every loss that they have in various assembly elections, people come out with placards asking for Priyanka to sort of take some more responsible position in the Congress.
Yes.
So this is a very it's a very tricky situation for the Congress, with Sonia Gandhi also wondering what is the way forward, or what sort of model should Congress party follow in the future. So
yes.
I think there's some serious worries there.
Absolutely. All right. Accountability, of course, one thing that the Congress will have to look into. But thanks so much, M.K. Venu, for joining us and giving us an idea really of what is it that we can be expecting from different parties in the days to come. One big lesson, of course, that today's election has, of course, taught us is that arrogance has the biggest fall. Thanks so much for joining us on News Tonight. That's it for the moment. But up next, we'll be talking more about the elections with the big picture. Do stay with us.
Thank you.